guys, and welcome to today's Asknikkip. Whenever I film here, my hair looks like extra blonde, I think because of all the light coming behind me, and then I've got my softbox in front of me, so I don't even know. I was just looking in the viewfinder and thinking about that. Anyways, I'm going to jump into today's question. If you hear me yell at Bowser, it's because he keeps walking up to Cammy, and Cammy's allergic of him or to him, so yeah. Bowser, you stay away, okay, little mini horse? Come here. Good mini horse. He looks so sad. You're breaking his heart, Cammy.
I'm sorry.
Okay, I'm gonna jump right in. Hey Nikki, I need some advice. So there is about an 87% chance, it's very specific, that I'm moving this year, and it would be far away, and I've never moved anywhere before. I love my friends and my home and all the classes and such that I'm taking here. Although I love the thought of starting fresh and getting a new atmosphere, it would be totally different. I would be put in a private school as well. I am homeschooled sophomore right now. If you have any tips on moving and moving on with life, please let me know. Okay, so let me adjust this camera first because it's bothering me. There we go. I'm gonna say a couple things to that. The first one is, yes, it's always hard to move. I've never really moved either, so I can only kind of imagine. I lived in Singapore for 8 months, but that didn't really count. It didn't feel like it counted as moving. It kind of just felt like an extended vacation, kind of. And I can imagine that that's hard. Now, that being said, I think that you should focus on what you said in the email, on the fact that you're getting to start fresh and start a new adventure. And the cool thing that I feel like you guys have and we all have now versus a long time ago is if there are people that you really want to stay in touch with, which I feel like people are what makes a place a home really at the end of the day anyway, so a lot of times that's the hard thing to leave. You guys have Skype and Instagram and Facebook and Twitter, and I find a lot of times, sometimes I stay updated on that stuff with people, and I don't even have to, see them for a while, and I know fully what's going on in their lives, and I watch their kids growing up, and obviously it doesn't replace being around that person, and sometimes we can trick ourselves into thinking it does, but it really, really helps. And you stay up to date with people. And Skype, man, Skype is like a miracle. When we lived in Singapore, being able to Skype with my parents, we were gone for 8 months. And when we came home, I was like, dude, it felt long while I was there, but now that I'm back, I feel like I just saw you because I did on Skype. So that's a really cool thing about technology. Now, that being said, I think you're just gonna feel nervous because there's no way, everything in life that is unknown is scary. I mean, that's what makes death scary, is because it's unknown. You've never died before, so that's always a bad analogy to moving, but you get my point. Anything that is unknown is scary. When I went and got my second Fraxel treatment done, it was way less scary and less painful in some ways because I wasn't making anything up in my head anymore. I had already done it, so I think that's unavoidable. And I think all that matters in you dealing through this process is pushing forward, striving to make new relationships, being open to change, and staying in touch with the people who really matter to you where you are. So that would be my thoughts on that. Anyone who has experienced moving lots of times or even just one big move, be sure to comment down below because I think it really helps to hear other people's experiences. And since I've never been through that, I'm just giving my thoughts on that. I think that would be really helpful. So good luck with that. I can imagine that that's a hard thing to deal with. So, I was just making sure they weren't attacking Cammy again. I was like, what is she doing? All right, so the Twitter question says, how do I tell my mom that I want to be a journalist even though she thinks it's not a realistic career without hurting her feelings? If you're gonna hurt your mom's feelings, you're just gonna hurt your mom's feelings. I don't really think that if someone's going to be upset and you're not doing anything bad, in the case of that, you're just deciding a career path for your life, I don't think there's much you can do about it. I will say, talking to your mom and trying to have a conversation hey mom, do you want to tell me what your concerns are? Because you may be able to put to rest some of her concerns, and it may just make her feel better to talk to you and to know you're listening and you are thinking about the future. You're not just throwing all cares to the wind. You're thinking about it. So Bowsy, get over here. No mini horse. So that would be a good thing, is to have a discussion with your mom and find out why she's thinking that way, you know, what her motives are. And just opening up that conversation, or any conversation, is always a good thing. So that would be my thought about that. But ultimately, at the end of the day, it's your life. And if your parents are disappointed in it or don't get it, there's a reason why you grow up and you eventually leave your family. And you're still tight with your family, but you're also building, you know, your own independent life. And other people can't choose, you know, your path for you. Oh, I guess they could, but you don't have to let them. And I don't think that that's necessarily healthy. So, yeah, just like the previous question, write in the comments, guys, if you have dealt with that, you've gone through that, you know someone who's gone through that, and all that jazz. So yeah, that is it. Send your messages to asknikkip@gmail.com, or use the hashtag on Twitter, asknikkip, and I will see you all very soon. Bye.